It's still, why don't we just admit, just be honest, America? Just be honest. 77 million people that we know, friends and family, voted for an adjudicated rapist, a convicted felon, a child molester who is defending child molesters, who is best friends with the child molester, who's mentioned over 30,000 times with the child molester, who caused an insurrection that led to the death of 5 officers, who made fun of soldiers, who mocked disabled people, who added $8 trillion to the debt with 6 bankruptcies, 3 failed marriages, didn't rent to black people, paid $15,000 asking for the execution of 5 black men in New York City who were later exonerated. Literally questioned the birth of Barack Obama, our black president. And you people went to the voting booth and said, I don't know. This is tough. Do I vote for him because, he told me that I'm going to have more money in my checking account on my paycheck? Or do I vote for the most qualified black woman in the history of our country? In fact, the most qualified presidential candidate. I don't know. Universal health care, taxing the rich, helping people with student loans, helping them start their small businesses. I don't know. This is really hard. Shit, I don't know. What would Jesus do? Well, I guess I'm going to have to vote for the rapist. Can we just cut the shit? Part of this country was triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in their fields picking their cotton. They want the inside of the White House to look like the outside of the White House. And they went back to the plantation owner. And LBJ was right. And I'll paraphrase. This country will vote for a rapist, child molester, convicted felon who is literally tearing down democracy itself over the most qualified black woman. This country would rather suffer under a white man than thrive under a black woman. When are we just going to admit it? 250 years into this experiment, this racist country, half of our country are women. Half. And we've never had a woman president because it wants to maintain the white male patriarchy. And that racist, Charlie Kirk, that's what he stood for, was the white male patriarchy. Yeah, the guy that asked for Joe Biden to be executed, who joked about gay people being thrown out of buildings in Gaza. That piece of shit racist. Very fine people on both sides. The great white replacement theory. Hey, if the pilot's black, do I know they're qualified? I'm not saying they're not. I'm just posing the question. Dead Americans is worth, I think, the cost of the Second Amendment. Praise Jesus. Wow. What a reflection of Jesus. He stood for one thing, the white male patriarchy. Look at his audience. Who was it? A bunch of beta cuck alpha males, mediocre white men with micro penises that need to feel like a real man because they see women in places of power and black women and black men and people that aren't white, and it scares the shit out of them. And they go, I don't know what to do. Traditional family values is going away. Oh, now I have to work for a living. My white privilege isn't going to give me the job just because I'm white. That's all he stood for. That's it. This isn't complicated, people. This is not about Republican or Democrat. Part of this country wants to live in 1776 where the white man ruled over everybody. This great Christian nation whipped black people and then paid places like Charleston City to put salt on their wounds, to shackle them, and to punish them when they didn't listen. This great Christian nation put black people in trees and came outside, and the white people smile and goes, our God is an awesome God, while somebody's fucking mom is hanging from a tree. Great Christian nation. Praise Jesus. We didn't even consider black people a whole white man through the 3/5 clause. Hell, even 100 years after we were here in 1860, the Supreme Court ruled that black people weren't citizens. But hey, Paul, if you don't like America, you can leave it. No, that's not how this works. It's the white person's turn to stand on business and call this shit out. And for all you white people out there that are still, I don't want to get political. Bitch, please. This shit is political. That's privilege, and you're oozing it right now. Black people don't have the luxury of sitting down and just sitting in their house and ignoring it. This is our fault, whether I like it or not. I benefited from it. I don't have to give the talk to my kids. I don't get called the N-word. People don't cross the street at night when I walk down there. I don't get pulled over by cops. My house isn't redlined. My great-grandparents weren't in a tree or put in somebody's will as property to hand down to their kids. That's fucking privilege. And too many of you dumbasses just want to wave flags and buy into the bullshit lie of American exceptionalism. Breaking news, America has never been a great country for everybody. Oh, Paul. And if you don't like it, you can ship your ass back to England. Just ship your ass back there because you're undocumented. This isn't my land. This belongs to the Native Americans. But very on brand for white people, like we're like a bunch of locusts and cancer. We're like, I want that. Oh, I'm going to steal the black people. I'm going to take the land from Mexico. Hey, I'm going to take the land from King Kamehameha from Hawaii. Oh, you know what? Let's just murder the Native Americans and then we'll just indoctrinate them to white culture. And if black people don't listen, we'll put them in trees and make an example out of them. Ooh, the Asians? Let's throw them in internment camps for 3 years. We'll show them because we're a Christian nation. White people don't want to hear actual American history. They want to hear white history. And that is exemplified by the all-white halftime show that they're having. Why? Because Bad Bunny doesn't speak their form of English. He's speaking Spanish. Who gives a fuck if he's speaking German or Cantonese or Mandarin? Who gives a fuck what he does? They're triggered because their version of white America is going away. Looks like me, talks like me. That's it. That's what they want. White America. And if this country fails, it's going to be through the complicity of white people sitting in their privilege, because that's why we're here, America. Because white people have stood silently since 1619. Doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me. Lynchings, Jim Crow, slavery, Black Wall Street, segregation. Doesn't affect me. Civil rights movement. Doesn't affect me. Martin Luther King said, "We will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends." Many of you were silent. People like me have to stand up and lead because it's our problem to fix. I benefit from this society. I have to tear down the patriarchy. My favorite quote that the great Martin Luther King said, "A true leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus." It means you have to tell people what they want to, what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. I'm not here to coddle white people. I'm here to call your asses out. That your silence is complicity. Evil succeeds when good people do nothing. And right now, too many of you white people are doing nothing because you're stuck in your privilege. Get off your asses and do what's right. Have a white day.